Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch One. Thanks for logging on. Today we are looking at the Breitling Superocean Heritage Chronograph, 46 millimeters in stainless steel, part of the late 2000s to present Superocean Heritage line that's designed to evoke the look and the feel of late 50s through 1960s golden age of sport watches type chronographs, dive watches. The Superocean Heritage Chronograph in 46 millimeters takes that classic look, but it escalates it to contemporary levels of fit, finish, and size, quite honestly, while keeping the time-tested proportions and the essential styling elements of those classic Breitlings, like the original 1957 reference 1004 dive watch. So you've got a lot of the best of both worlds, with modern watchmaking credibility, durability, and usability, with size that's contemporary, with proportions that are classic, and details that have already stood the test of over half a century. So now when I put the Superocean Heritage Chronograph on my wrist, you can see that Breitling developed a big watch, but it developed a big watch that's designed to work with normal or even undersized human wrists. My wrist, which is 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, is definitely a bit below average in size, but it's about average in profile, fairly flat across the top and oval in cross section. You can see the Breitling sits nicely, and it's got a versatile look to it. I'll get to that in a moment, but just keep that tuxedo-esque light and dark combination in mind. But you can see that because the back of the case is a little bit convex, the watch actually nestles into the skin about a millimeter or two, which removes some of the 16.5 millimeter thickness from the equation. Combined with the tumble home from the top of the sapphire to the convex bezel, the dive bezel itself helps the sleeve slide up and over this watch. So if you have a bigger wrist than mine, or you tend to wear larger cuffs, there's a good chance that you could wear this as your only timepiece, wearing it just as easily with casual attire and business attire. Again, because it has that light and dark, beautiful alligator contrasting stitched strap, white metal, black bezel, minimally calibrated, and a Soleil sunburst metallic dial, the look is very versatile. It's almost a little bit neutral in that you can wear it poolside or you can wear it at the office. So it's got a tremendous potential to be your one and only if you are looking for a one and only watch, or for instance, a starter watch for a fortunate graduate this summer. The bottom line is that Breitling's Superocean Heritage is big, it's contemporary, and the lugs are a key to making this larger 46 millimeter watch fit on a normal wrist. As you can see, they give the strap a head start in conforming to the curvature of a smaller wrist. Again, on my wrist, you can see about 16 centimeters in circumference. This one's not pushing the limits of my wrist. I think you could wear this down to 15 centimeters in circumference comfortably and with style, provided you like the big watch look. But one of the advantages of the big watch look is improved legibility versus its vintage counterparts, and that's unarguable. It's not subjective, it's objective. With this minimally calibrated vintage-style bezel, Breitling evokes its classic-era tool watches. And you can see that in the knurling, you can see that in the stick indices, you can see that in the broad arrow hand, the lancet seconds, you can see it in the bulb-style knurled screw-down crown, true to history, without crown guards, and these non-screw-down circular pump-style pushers. The vintage aesthetic is alive and strong here with the Superocean Heritage, and it's aided and abetted by this heavily bolstered Breitling alligator skin contrasting hand-stitched strap. Now, you're used to seeing dive watches perhaps on a NATO textile, on a bracelet, sometimes on rubber, but I have to say that when I'm talking about the versatility of this watch and its potential to go well with a suit, I'm also taking the effect of this gator strap into account. It's really quite beautiful, and because it's gator, it's going to have a nice long life. But make no mistake, it's calfskin where skin meets skin, so to speak, so it's very supple on the wrist. And it has a vintage correct, but also ergonomically convenient pin buckle for finding precise sizing. So while it's true to history, the pin buckle also makes it easier to get this one on your wrist and periodically adjust it during the course of the day depending on activity levels, whether it's hot or cold, if your wrist is expanding or contracting. So that's a nice little vintage touch that becomes a practical advantage. The dial itself is a gorgeous Soleil sunburst or rayon metallic grain exploding out from the pinion at center. You can see those diamond polished applied indices with indexed lume dots outboard on the minute track. The watch does feature the modern refinement of a date window, unlike its historical predecessors, but that's a practical advantage that I like to have because I find While I could probably recall the date if I really try, I glance at my watch, I'm going to say probably 10 times a day to reference the date. It also has one of the kings of complications, the chronograph. Now this is a triple register chronograph based on the Breitling chronometer spec caliber 13, NE 7750, and although it's triple register with hours, minutes, and seconds, it's not tri-compact because of the location of the Valjoux 7750 subdials, but it does give you all the information, and beautifully at that. Very luminescent at night. It has tremendous glow considering the size of those lume dots. They really stand out in the dark. And of course, with the unidirectional dive bezel, you can time an interval of up to 60 minutes off the minutes hand while timing a separate second event with the chronograph hours, minutes, and seconds system. So you actually have two timers in one, in addition to civil time on the main hours and minutes hands at center. You also have a small seconds subdial right here at 9 o'clock, and that's where I want to segue into a little discussion of that Breitling caliber 13. I screw out the screw down crown, that nice accessible bulb shaped crown. You ever notice how the absence of crown guards on these vintage style watches aids the use of a screw down crown? Really makes it more accessible, and that's a practical advantage. But you'll see that when I pull the crown to the setting position, I can stop the small seconds at 9 o'clock because this chronometer spec automatic winding Breitling caliber 13 features hacking seconds, and that has great practicality for a number of reasons. But as a dive watch rated to 200 meters, it allows me to synchronize this watch to my dive timer, a known accurate quartz clock or atomic clock, or my buddy's dive watch. So if you're going to have a COSC chronometer accurate to within -4 +6 seconds per day, you may as well set it precisely in the first place. Otherwise would kind of defeat the purpose. 42-hour power reserve with the jump date and the chronograph and abundant water resistance, a look that's as versatile as it is handsome. This watch and this movement could be your daily driver. It could be your only watch. So again, if you're looking for a Breitling that you can wear daily, if you're looking for a sports watch to take the strain off of your high horology dress watches in your rotation, if you're looking for an only luxury watch or something for a fortunate graduate this summer, again, you really should consider this Breitling Superocean Heritage Chronograph. 46 millimeters in stainless steel. It has modern proportions, modern size, modern watchmaking content, accuracy, and water resistance, but with a style, including details that have already stood the test of time since the 50s and 60s. This is a great example of value up front with potential for enduring value down the line. So check out this Breitling Superocean Heritage Chronograph, 46 millimeters in stainless steel. This is one of those essential sports watch type sports watches. Check it out on our website, Watch You Want, and I'm confident if you're looking for a Breitling that can do it all, this Superocean Heritage Chronograph just may be the watch you want.